want to do that.
So it says Netflix loses 970,000 subscribers, but forecasts 1 million gain in the next quarter. So that is them. That is the media, the shill media, kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt and covering for them a little bit.
They expected 2 million to quit.
That's what I'm saying. Okay,
Yes.
so in quarter one, they were expecting a growth of 2.5 million and ended up losing 200,000.
Oh, wow.
In quarter two, they're like, we better not make a projection like
Gonna
that
make
again.
that mistake
And
again.
so I think that they overestimated and were like, yeah, we're going to lose a lot. We're going to lose like 2 million. And I think they probably knew pretty close to.
Less
Because
than
they're
one.
looking down the line to frame their loss as somehow a win.
And that's
Right.
what
Which
they
is
do
what
here.
they're doing.
And that's what they do here. So it says, during the first quarter, when Netflix lost 200,000 subscribers and spurred Wall Street and Hollywood to reevaluate the economics of the streaming business, the company warned that it expected to lose an additional 2 million subscribers in quarter two. Really, like, rip that Band-Aid off before it even develops a scab.
Get out in front of it.
Though the quarter ended still with a net loss in subscribers, the streaming giant is projecting that it will add 1 million subscribers in quarter three. So like Babe Ruth calling his shot to right field to hit a home run, they're saying we're gonna gain this many. Now, to be fair, they still have 220 million subscribers. 220 million.
It's too many.
220.67.
No skin off their nose,
It's
obviously.
too many.
Like that's billions and billions of dollars at $15.49 a month.
That's why I feel like they don't care about the quality of the content because people just subscribe to these things and forget about it.
Yep.
Yeah, or
It's
can't
like a
quit.
utility bill
So
at this point.
So it says revenue hit 7.97 billion for the second quarter, representing roughly 8% year-over-year growth, in part due to a strong U.S. dollar. I'm not an economist, so I
what?
don't know what that means. Like when I read stuff like that, I assume that I'm taking it out of context and I'm not understanding what they're saying because I don't know anywhere in the world where the dollar is strong right now. But like I said, I'm actually saying I don't know if that's supposed to be interpreted differently. But that's like saying, I don't know what that's like saying. But it's not true.
Well, they are saying the gas prices are just absolutely plummeting right now.
Are they to what?
Already down 50 cents.
A whole 50 cents.
Here we go. Get ready.
So it says. So according to this is from a Netflix letter to shareholders. Well, net income landed 1.44 billion. So income that doesn't mean profit though, right? Income doesn't mean profit.
Yeah, it's not. No, that's like a net amount, I believe.
So it says by region, Netflix showed the most loss in the U.S. and Canada. I wonder why.
Weird.
Despite major English language series like Stranger Things, and Reed Hastings basically says like, Netflix, you are lucky because Stranger Things season 4 saved your frickin' life, which is why they expanded it and made it 2 parts so that they had to keep people subscribed for 2 months.
It's insane.
Which is
Think about this. Like, what was it? Like 11,000 people work for Netflix?
yeah.
That's too
Yeah,
many
compare
people.
that to, you said they have 220 million subscribers.
Yes.
And if they lose a couple 100,000 of them, now we're, close to 1 million of them, still a very small fraction of the total, you will fire literally like hundreds of those people who are making all of that possible as compensation for that.
Also, it's like I know in corporate culture they'll cut departments for not making enough profit.
Yep.
Right? Like it's
Obviously.
not about just making profit. You have to show like high-end profit, otherwise that venture is deemed unreliable or unworthy of their time.
It sounds to me like Netflix is being too nice to their employees and too generous. Like that's gonna be a
It's
problem
not,
for them.
I think it's not their employees. I think they need to stop funding bad projects
That's
to
an idea.
platform.
Like we talked about with the Russo brothers the other
Yeah.
day, they said like Amazon and these companies, because they're like they're hands off. Like they're like, here's some money, go make a movie.
Go do
Like,
things.
Not that Netflix employees are like, the heroes of this situation.
No, we do not.
Certainly not.
So, and they talk about that strategy here where they talk about, so it says, Netflix went into overhaul mode. The streamer implemented several rounds of layoffs, with the most recent resulting in the loss of 300 staffers. And they also cut like a pop culture like news department that they had that nobody had ever heard of.
Not their pop culture crisis.
Yeah,
No.
they're like,
How dare they?
their very own Mary and Brett
They're
got fired.
scrappy, go-getter, pop culture
R.I.P.
news fanatics.
So it says,
at
which
Netflix.
amounted to 70 million in severance costs. Was that you that was talking about on there, like about how like Twitter employees like just don't go to work? Like,
Yeah, that
there's
sounds like
Twitter
something
No,
people.
they stopped completely.
Yeah. They're just
their
like-
headquarters is a ghost town.
It is
like
a ghost
no
town.
one works there.
Yeah.
They're like, we
Cover-
take like a month
Cover
off,
yeah.
like for my mental health. So like a court.
Also, don't you guys think it was weird that like Twitter had a big stockpile of like ventilators?
What? That's interesting. I didn't
Before
see that.
that.
I
Okay.
would believe it.
So $70 million in severance costs and reevaluated its film strategy to focus on fewer but better projects. Which
That's
they
a good
should have.
idea.
I've
Yeah.
literally been
How about
championing
that?
that idea since 2016, or at least smaller projects that cost less.
It's not
to make.
like a revolutionary
No, it's
idea
not.
that you would place quality of the content over quantity, but I feel like they're just like throwing bleep at the wall and seeing what sticks.
So they're moving away from low-budget fare and fast-tracking its adoption of an advertising-supported system tier by partnering with.
Crisis
Oh my
Party.
gosh, we hit it!
Thank
Oh,
you.
I'm happy.
Thank you guys
Nice.
very
Thank
much.
you
Thank
guys.
you.
Love it.
This kind of goes along. There was an article that I wanted to cover the other day that I couldn't find a place for, with a woman, a director named Jane Campion, who talked about how she felt that Netflix's problems, like the way that they're going with making smaller or like less projects but bigger budget. She said that's a problem because now like a lot of like voices won't be heard. And I said,
Okay.
well, a lot of voices don't make money, and that's the problem here.
At the end of the day, your goal is to make money. I'm sorry. I know capitalism sucks or whatever, but it's like, if you're not making money for your company, what is their motivation for keeping you? This actually still is like a hierarchy of value.
Yeah. So they're going to move to that. And also, one of the most interesting things I found about this is they're moving to an ad-supported tier. Right. They're capping
Yikes.
they've capped their content spend at $17 billion, which is what it's been the last couple of years. Disney is like dwarfing that right now with content spend. But so they've capped their content spend. They're not overindulging. They're past what they were before. But their ad-supported tier isn't going to have all the stuff. So there's stuff that won't be stuff that won't be available ad tier.
I thought they trashed the idea of doing an ad tier.
No, they're still going to do an ad tier.
Okay.
So Netflix supported ad tier will have better economics than ad free ones, says CEO Greg Peters. And basically they talk about, he says, we know there's some price sensitivity around consumers, he said. When we run the models in talking to our members and advertisers to Microsoft, we look at the monetization that is a complement to the subscription part of the offering, and we're quite optimistic that the unit economics would make the monetization equal or maybe even better than it would if than the comparable ad-free model. So they're saying that charging less for ads, like for an ad-free model, will end up working out for them because they'll make the money off the advertising, right? And the idea here is that they're not going to have everything else available there. So there will be content that you can't get ad-free.
That's
Like,
fine.
because they're going to
actually
license out
crazy.
stuff. Basically, like, the idea is to go back to buying from other studios. Like, you make the show, we'll license it out, but we'll only license it for ad tier, not for ad-free.
At some point, what are you expecting? That the top tier subscribers on Netflix are paying like what, $50 a month?
Maybe.
Like the direction we're going in, the cost is just
I
like
wouldn't be
through the
surprised.
roof.
Yep. It says,
How do
obviously,
they expect to get away with that?
It says obviously the tier will be available will be able to include all of Netflix's original series, but the streamer still licenses a large amount of content from the U.S. studios and international distributors, and is in talks with these partners about making some of those shows available. So you wouldn't necessarily get all of the shows on ad tier. That's insane.
Right.
Like the whole point of going to ad tier is that
That's
you-
almost like here's your free trial.
yeah.
that does sound like a free trial. I think that's it. Yeah. Your
today-
paid free trial.
It says today
Joy.
the vast majority of what people watch on Netflix, we include that in the ad-supported tier, Sarando said on the earnings call. There's some things that don't, and we're in conversation with the studios on. So you'll only get like it's just really funny. Like
This is, I think, a lot of this conversation around the current and like worsening recession conditions is about like people pretending it's not happening.
Right.
And this is pretending it's not happening.
I also want to ask if like we just recently covered Comic-Con is reintroducing mask mandates and requirement of
They're coming back.
Yes, I want to know if companies like Netflix are lobbying to continue these things to make this go on longer so they can make more money.
That's a great question.
If I was a lobbyist for Netflix and I'm like, do I want people to be able to go back outside again? Not really. I want people to be stuck inside with nothing to do, so they have to watch
That's
Stranger
right.
Things season 4 and talk about Kate Bush like they've never heard Kate Bush before again.
Right,
For the
seriously.
first
Honestly,
time in history.
if you're a teenager, you probably never
I
heard
know.
of
It's my
Kate
favorite
Bush.
was like I got into an argument of all the things to get into an argument with people on is I was like the placebo version of that song of the song Running Up That Hill is better, and somebody got really mad at me for
That's so
saying that.
funny.
They're like the Chromatics version of that song is the best. I'm like, oh, shut up.
Okay, calm
It's not,
down.
be quiet. Like, stop. Like, I'm kidding. I like people, man. People. So, but I am right. The placebo version of Running Up That Hill is better than the Kate Bush version.
I like that.
Don't
lady
at
Well,
did
me.
it.
people are gonna be mad at
Don't
you.
at me. So, $17 billion spent on content. They just spent $200 million on The Gray Man, which I'm very excited to see. And I don't know where they go because they're too busy worrying about the subscriber growth. And if they're going to make $1 million back, where does that come from?
Do you remember when, to quote my role model and hero, Greta Thunberg? Remember
We love her here.
we do love
She
her.
her
said,
here.
like,
We love AOC. so I understand.
I don't remember her exact verbiage, but like she was talking about these executives of large corporations who have like delusions of never-ending profits.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
that the ceiling is that there is no ceiling.
There is a
Yeah,
ceiling.
to like take that idea and like bring it to this conversation, it fits perfectly. They are delusional.
Well, I guess the idea is the model is they can't ever just be like, okay, we've reached the peak. Now we just have to stay here. The idea is that you have to continue to grow. There is
Right.
no peak.
Right.
But they always have to do it at the expense of someone else.
Yep.
Which is like the people paying.
yeah, that's a good point. It actually is a little bit
Literally.
of a zero-sum game.
Yeah.
So it says the exec stress that COVID costs, which have inflated total spending recently, are way down. So imagine like just building a set, right? Building a set takes lumber. Just building sets.
People were
to
talking
make,
about lumber prices for a while.
yeah,
too.
like long before.
Yeah,
all
they
this
were
stuff.
really way high. Yeah.
So I just don't know where they end up going from here. But it says, yeah, so I want to find the one from, there was one from the guy, the Reed Hastings. Yeah, he says, he praises Stranger Things for basically saving them in this quarter, like, which means like, I know that they got like one season left. If those are renegotiable contracts, those stars need to like get in now
Yeah,
and
but
be like,
they're gonna make it into like Friends.
yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, like even the timeline of the show is going to extend into the 1990s, and they're gonna be just
2000s, yeah.
young adults.
That's going to be interesting.
Like,
And then, yeah, Friends. I could see it.
Streaming is working everywhere. Everyone's pouring in. The co-CEO said Tuesday following the company's second quarter results. It's definitely the end of linear television over the next 5 to 10 years. So very bullish on streaming, Hastings added in his last prediction over the death of broadcasting networks.
So
is that
very
true?
bullish.
Is that true? Do you think? I think sports alone keeps people watching regular TV. Boomers and sports will keep people watching regular TV.
Yeah.
gosh, but for how long?
I don't know until the boomers all die off.
Yeah,
Apparently.
it's
Well,
been a while.
I bet there are a lot of young people who still watch
People love
sports.
No,
sports,
no,
yeah.
I'm saying, yeah, but you
Yeah.
can watch it on like like you can buy packages that allow you to do that through
Sure.
streaming now. They may be smarter about that than your dad just being like, what channel's the game on?
But then also, like, to say non-linear, like, as if that reflects streaming.
Yeah.
It's, as we were saying on a recent episode, that doesn't make sense anymore because they're releasing things in the same linear timeline that cable television shows would, where
Yeah.
they make you wait in between episodes.
So I don't. I think that they set those expectations high to make it a million. Like we're going to lose this many subscribers, so that they can say that we only lost.
Oh, look at us.
970.
We're doing great.
So if they gain if their model.
Just tripping on their shoelaces.
So if the idea here is that they guessed high, like they guessed high on how many they were going to lose, so that would look better when they lost less. Do you think that they guessed low on their next quarter
Or-
prediction?
I don't know. Like, I don't even know if they are that calculated.
I think they are. I
How do
think-
you know? I'm no like economist, but like, it's impossible to know. what's going to
I
happen.
feel like it's possible to know a little bit. Like they predicted they would lose some people, and they were correct. Now they over predicted so that I think in the hopes that they could be like, they were like, oh, we'd never lose 2
now,
million.
if this influences investors, I thought it also like would be illegal to intentionally mislead
know
the
about
investors
that. Yeah.
about the future of the company, which is what we are alleging they possibly did
Right.
by overestimating the loss.
Here's that quote. I wanted to go through this one more time. It says, "Today, the vast majority of what people watch on Netflix, we can include in the ad-supported tier today. There are some things that we were in conversation with the studios on." They said in twice. "But if we launch the product today, the members in the ad tier have a great experience, and we will clear some additional content, but certainly not all." So we are looking, but we don't think that it's a material holdback to the business. So the ad tier thing seems like a mess to me.
Yeah.
Like it does.
Woo!
Like, the
Oh my
whole
gosh,
thing.
Thank you.
The wires got crossed. It's shooting both.
I love it.
They're getting more bang for their buck.
I love it.
Um,
It's a value show.
Common sense money gun control. I
Yeah.
would say that every time.
Right.
So I might actually like check out the thing is like I might check out the ad tier just to see what it's like, and then like see if I can.
Yeah,
then
you
just
love ads.
No, I do this just to see what it's like, to see what's there and what isn't when it comes out. I also saw something
I
recently.
don't want you to lose your mind.
Yeah, I don't take it easy there, bro.
I also saw something recently that said that Amazon Prime finally got like a facelift on their app, but it's not doing that for mine on my Roku.
It's annoying.
Like it's apparently different now.
You need to
but-
update it.
Like,
yeah, I don't know.
what
if-
was changed.
Like they said, it's icon based now rather than list based. So I don't know if that means I finally don't have to worry about like when I click on a picture of a show, I'm not just looking at the picture of season 2 and not the whole show,
Oh.
which makes no
Brilliant.
sense.
Brilliant. What are you
Like
talking
why
about?
they do
So
that?
smart.
It's
That is so.
It's like, oh, I love the show Grimm. I don't want to watch just the season 4. I want to watch the whole thing.
Watch season 18.
Yes.
That seems like a good place to start.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.